Hi, I'm Liz Larson, back with some cake decorating basics. Today I'm going to show you how to block a half sheet cake, how to flip, how to block it, how to get it level. Let's get started. So these are the tools that we're going to use for blocking or icing a half sheet cake. I just want to introduce you to a few of them. We'll use all of them, show you how to use them. This is actually a drywall tool that you get at a building supply store for just a few cents. This is called a table scraper or bench knife. This is my quick icer, handy dandy quick icer. A long spatula, and this is called an offset. And this is a cake knife. You need a serrated long knife for cutting your cake, for trimming. So I have my half sheet cake here on a half sheet board. And you can see that it's actually a little large, and I'm going to show you how to trim that. This half sheet was baked in a cookie sheet, so you can see that it's nice and level and I don't have to do any splitting. Today we're going to film with pastry cream, but I'm going to show you that if you were going to use more of a fruit cream, what you would do. About a ½ inch in, you would put a nice thick line. You can see I'm just using the end of a coupler. This creates a dam so that your fruit fillings don't leak out and get into your decoration. So for this cake we're just going to use some pastry cream, and this is just some vanilla pudding mixed with some Pastry Pride. I showed you how to do that on the decadent chocolate cake video. So that's about how much you want, and this is where the offset comes in great. You see that I'm up above my cake. I want to start to move my filling around, not lifting up too much off. I don't want to pull my cake back off. You want to use an S-shaped motion, and you want to get as even as possible here. Push all the way out to your corners and finish up. Watch for levelness here. There you go. This is actually the bottom side of the cake, or the cake that would be on the bottom of the pan. We want this side and its matching side on the inside. So that'll make a little more sense as I flip it. I use these cakes mostly frozen. They're easier to turn, and I'm going to show you how to turn now. So you want to get these cakes lined up, and as you'll see as I turn this cake, that it does have wax paper on the back side. That keeps it nice and stable, and it also keeps my hands out of the cake. And as you can see, my cake is already pretty level, and that's what I'm going for. And we'll peel off that wax paper, and now we're ready to trim. So a lot of decorators are afraid to trim their half sheets, but I think it's essential to get a nice square cake, and you want it to fit on your board well. We want to be able to put some beautiful decorations here and not be limited by the size of our cake. So as we can see, this one doesn't quite line up. So we're just going to take our cake knife, score so that we make sure we're nice and even, and just cut that off. They're still kind of frozen, so you can see I get a nice even slice. Put that aside. We'll use it for cake slices later, if you can kind of see that. I'm turning here so I have better access. And I'm going to go ahead and score again. I'm cutting here about a ½ inch. Just make sure that you're nice and straight. And go ahead and cut that right off. And you'll see as I cut it that I'm giving myself lots of space to ice and decorate. Not even too much on my board there. Let's give that a little trim. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn and do the other side. Another great use for your cake trimmings is for leveling. So I can see that on this corner of my cake I'm a little bit low. So I can take a slice of my cake and tuck it right in the corner there to get my leveling. Leveling on a quarter sheet or on any cake really is really the most important thing. You've all heard the old saying you can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. Well, You can't make a beautiful cake out of an unlevel one to start with. Okay, now we can ice. Okay, so I've got my handy dandy quick icer here, and I'm going to start to do the top of my cake. But I want to show you before another little trick with your quick icer for leveling. If you just need a little bit, you can also lift up here, put a little bit of your icing, and level that way too. So to start, I want to use my quick icer here. Don't forget to wind up, get your pressure in the bag. You're at a 45-degree angle here. And begin your first stripe. Now, you can see that it's hanging over a little bit. That's exactly what we want. We're going to use that little bit of a lip to crumb ice our sides. Now, this is a commercial trick. You don't need to crumb ice your whole cake, especially if you don't have a lot of crumbs, and we really don't at this point. That's another trick of working with frozen cake. Okay, now I can do one of two things. I can continue to fill in with my quick icer, which works great, or I can also put a blob of icing on, which works great. Now here's where I want to use my long spatula so I can get all the way across the cake. When you start to smooth on icing, you don't want to be lifting up. See that it's one smooth motion. I'm not picking my spatula back up again. Okay? So you can see how that works. Or if I'm going to use this side, I just use one wipe, maybe two. So you can see putting it on with the quick icer is a lot easier. But either way is fine. And you can see here in just a few seconds, as I turn my cake to get the best angle, I've got a nice smooth cake. I'm continuing on with my long spatula. You don't want to be trading out your equipment too much, it kind of wastes time. But you can see here that I'm going to use it to wipe down this edge and give myself a little crumb ice on the side. Now you can also see that it's pushing up a lip on top, and that's perfect. I want that to keep my corners nice and square. This should take you no more than about 30 seconds. You can see I've got a nice crumb ice on there, and then I'm back to my quick icer. Okay, so the nice thing about a quick icer and a half sheet is you usually just need one stripe. So nice even pressure, pull towards yourself. Stop just past the end of the cake. Begin again on this inside lip. We want to have nice sturdy corners. So we'll leave ourselves a little extra icing just past the end of the cake. We'll begin again just inside. Again, if we're doing this quickly, not more than about 30 seconds. There we go. Now, on this side, it looks like I'm going to need a little more, so I'm going to go ahead and put that second stripe right over the top. So here's where we begin with a couple of different tools. I'm going to start with my bench knife, and you want to make sure that you're holding this really straight up and down so that you're not this way or this way. Pull that lip that we created in, nice even pressure, and just pull right towards yourself. And you can go ahead and do that one more time. And you see you got a nice smooth side there. You don't want to overwork your cakes. To get a nice corner here, we're going to pull again that little lip straight back. And one more time. Now, just for fun, I am going to switch tools just to show you how to use this one. So it's a little big for the sides, but same thing, straight up and down. Pull straight back towards yourself. And just back around that corner to get a nice square. So we've got nice square edges. Now, I don't have to take this tool out of my hand. I can use this one just to pull straight across. So you can see my fingers are pretty flat on top. That gives me my stability. Thumb on the back side. And just wipe down that edge gently. So we're pulling the lip that we created in. It's good to start on your corners, but this covers your corners and about half the cake, so it's kind of a nice tool for that. Okay. Continue to wipe in between, whether you're using a spatula or this tool. Now with this tool, I can just pull pretty much straight across the top. Get a nice smooth top. And I just want to come back this way one more time. And there you go. Got nice corners, nice smooth edges. Touch up just a little if you wish. So now you have the skills and the tools that you need to professionally decorate a half sheet, a quarter sheet, a square, anything with this rectangular or square shape. I hope you learned a lot today. Don't forget to subscribe and ask me any kind of questions that you have. So I'm going to clean up my board here as I say goodbye, and I'll see you next time.